Good morning, St. Louis. Welcome back to another episode of Who's Talking Mobile, where conversations get deep and intellectual. I'm your host, Artemis Caldwell, founder and CEO of Who Is Incorporated. Join with me all the time. Everybody, y'all know this, man.
Yes, sir. Co-host, man. Gabe, Coach, back in it. You know, we're doing it again with another episode today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, early morning on a Saturday.
Man, I think my allergies messing up, though.
It's that season.
Oh,
it's
man.
definitely that season. I saw pollen flying when I was driving yesterday, man.
Okay. Huh.
But,
yeah, man. Been a minute, too.
Yeah, it's definitely been a minute. But since it's been a minute, man, it's been a crazy 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a crazy minute.
Very crazy 2 weeks. 2020 has been, I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's been
so far.
Yeah. First 6 months. You know. But let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about what's been going on. Most notably, we've had in the past, I would say, month, we had just found out about the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, then the Breonna Taylor situation happened down there in Louisville, Kentucky shortly after that. And now we have the George Floyd situation where a man was just, videotaped, literally being, suffocated to death by knee to the neck on camera. And that kicked off a whole bunch of shit just around the country. And, it's been turned up. It's been turned up 2 weeks, I tell you that. I was outside on Monday night downtown when it was protesting. And, man, dog, it got wild down there.
Really?
It got wild down there.
Even here in St. Louis?
Yeah, here in St. Louis, it got wild down there.
Huh.
I think I showed you the video of, the shootout that was downtown. Like, I was right there on Washington, on the other side. I wasn't by the gas station, but I was on the other side of it. So I heard it, and I heard all the stuff that was going on. Man, it was crazy. But yeah, man.
What's your take on everything that's going on?
I think it's just the pipe just burst. That's really all it is.
Pipe just burst for black people.
Yeah, pipe just burst. Like, we've had leaks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell you, I'll say this. Ferguson was leak. Trayvon Martin, that was like a leak. All of these things that where we protest before, where it was somewhat on a national level, but it like a lot of different cities spread out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in every state. With this, in the past 2 weeks, just about every major city in America has been participated in either protests, violence, or both. So, black people really kicked off some things here in the last 2 weeks, and it's actually been good. It's actually been a good thing, despite what people say about the violence and the looting and everything.
Really?
I say that it was a good thing. And here's why I say it was a good thing. Because
what's going on now? Rioting, protesters, because I look at it as two separate different parts.
And it is two separate parts, right? Now, a part of the rioting and the looting, a part of that gets out of hand when you do have, from what I hear, paid operatives to come in and actually do things like that. You see videos of people putting Black Lives Matter, and it's like, they look like they're doing a job. Right. If you look at the video, they look like they're doing a job. You know what I'm saying? The way that they do it. So it's like, okay, some of those things, all right, we take those out, right? Right. Most of the violence sparks from, the police getting out of line and harming just, the peaceful protesters. That's usually when things start getting a little heavy, you know what I'm saying? So, like, And a lot of that has been kicking off, and what's been happening is that we've just showed America that, hey, we're not afraid of the police anymore.
We're not taking it.
Yeah, we're not afraid of the police anymore. We're not afraid to stand up anymore. We're not taking it. And America is basically right now at black folks' knees, kissing our feet, begging us to stop. Right?
Think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Because now it's not genuine. I say this, it's not genuine.
What's not genuine?
So they're really trying to appeal to us right now. So they're doing a lot of things, like you got a lot of police kneeling, like doing a whole kneeling, trying to make it look like they're standing with us. In Washington D.C., they painted a street near the White House, and it said Black Lives Matter on the street.
What does that mean? Okay.
Right. So they're trying to like do a lot of symbolic things to kind of kiss our ass and get us to stop, right? But at the same time, it's taken what, 2 weeks to get the other 3 officers charged, and we finally got his what's the guy's name? Chapman. We got his charge upgraded to 2nd-degree murder, right?
Okay.
Now I say we don't stop until they all get the highest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They all get the highest charges possible.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I say we don't stop until then. Because we see it works. And here's another thing that I want to point out. There was not one vote cast. Not one vote was cast in these past 2 weeks. Not one. And we got more done in 2 weeks than we ever did in what, 50 years?
I mean, okay.
Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, cause here's the thing. What's been the trend? White cop kill black person. White cop either doesn't get charged or they get a really lenient charge.
Yeah.
And they get off. Right?
Yeah.
This time we got it just like, I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say it. But basically we need to keep the foot on their neck. You know what I'm saying? We need to keep the foot on their neck. You feel me? Because that's the only way we're gonna get something done. And we see it's working because we got the charges upgraded from 3rd-degree murder to 2nd-degree murder.
Right.
Yeah, we need that 1st-degree murder. So we still need to keep on going. And we got the other 3 charges, but we see what works. We see that voting is not what got this done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Voting didn't get this done. You feel me?
So what is the message that we're trying to put on and tell? In your opinion, what is the message that we're trying to send?
In my opinion, the message is power is not given, power is taken. And in these past 2 weeks, we have been taking our power back. I will say that.
Okay.
That is the message that's going on. We're taking our power back, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And this is your interpretation of what's going on right now.
Yes. It's definitely my interpretation of what's going on right now.
So does that explain St. Louis' involvement in rioting and protesting? Now, when I say rioting and protesting, the picture I'm trying to paint, which is different, is protesting is peaceful or more so has an end goal or purpose. Rioting, not to say it doesn't have a purpose or an end goal, but rioting can cause more problems than it does good. You know what I'm saying? Such as, okay, we ride downtown. The question now becomes, who's looking out for the homeless population or the people who live in these neighborhoods that are being destroyed by these riots? You see what I'm saying? I feel like protesting is a smarter way of organizing your efforts to, you know what I'm saying, accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish or send the message out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like rioting is not necessarily a last resort, but like an attack mechanism. You see what I'm saying?
You right.
Like, hey, if y'all don't do this, then we gonna burn your city down.
And that is true.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly what happened, though. Yeah. That's exactly what happened, as you see what happened in Minneapolis. When they didn't want to charge and arrest Officer Chavi, whatever his name, I can't even remember his first name.
Yeah, okay.
I think his name was, I don't know. We just gonna call him Chavi.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Chavi, whatever, you feel me? It took, I think it took a week to get him charged. And it took 2 weeks to get the other 3 charged. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, it was going up. That's the reason why it was going up like it was. And especially in Minneapolis. They burned down the police precinct. Why? Because you wouldn't charge this man. You had Mike Freeman, who is the, who is the attorney, not the attorney general. He was the prosecutor.
Attorney prosecutor.
Yeah, attorney prosecutor who was on that case. And he refused to charge him. Even during the riots in Minneapolis burning down, he refused to charge him. You know what I'm saying? And then that just sparked the riots across the country. You know what I'm saying? You also got to think, as we've talked about this in the episode, I think we talked about this in the episode or just in personal conversation before, is just like the energy behind things and the why will magnify the whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you have a strong why, whatever you're doing with the purpose behind that at that moment is going to be magnified.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the reason why we were rioting and burning things down was because you would not charge this man after he, you know, wrongfully killed an unarmed black man.
I feel that, yeah.
And not only with that situation, it's also a build-up. The reason why is because that situation and the years before that, the past 10 years of us just being able to see this shit on video. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just the whole situation that we live in and we grow up in and just where we're put in society. You know what I'm saying? Claude Anderson, he basically explains how America put black people as an underclass. A lot of people don't think like this, but America has basically placed black Americans or black people in general as an underclass in this country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
As a way to justify what's going on to us.
Yes. They deliberately place you as an underclass and they blame you for being in that underclass. They say, oh, well, you're just not smart enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not intelligent enough to get to the level we're at, which is false.
Yeah,
no.
The term is pull yourself up by your own bootstrap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what I'm saying? How am I gonna pull myself up while my bootstraps keep on cutting? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, and it's just the whole 400 years of just like genetic trauma that we have received over this whole 400 years. That's also plays a part in it. You know what I'm saying? We've not only seen this today, we've seen this for the past 400 years. All of these memories and images of black men and women being tortured and harmed and killed over these past 400 years still lives in us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The things that you see, the things that you say, the things that you hear, not only do you absorb that into your mind, but you absorb that into your DNA and you absorb that into your genetics. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that you can consciously change your genetics. You know what I'm saying? I think you were the first person to kind of talk to me something about like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you witness that, when you witness things like that, when that type of environment is forced upon you, that I don't know why I always lose the word when I want to say it, the words that I want to say, But just the effects from that, it just trickles down from generation to generation to generation, and it plays out in different ways. As we saw in the Willie Lynch letter, we saw how that man, he wrote out exactly how things are going to be played out, and those things played out to a T today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, outline their differences, use fear, envy, and distrust.
And the thing about fear is that trying to use fear to maintain power, it only works for so long. Because the person that you're trying to instill fear into, eventually, you can only beat a horse for so long before he kick you back. You know what I'm saying? You can only beat a horse for so long. So it's like, we're the horses they've been beating for too long. And it's about that time. And I say we keep this momentum. I say we keep this momentum, and we don't just kick once, but we kick. Continue kicking. We keep kicking. We make it a kick 2, 3, 4, 5 kicks every day. You know what I'm saying? We need to be like that if we really want to dismantle the system of white supremacy. And that's really the main goal, is dismantling the global system of white supremacy, because it's a global system. It's not just here in this country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we just need to take this momentum and just really just focus on that, and just really just in this time really focus on getting things done, getting a lot of progressive things done for us. You know, like right now is the perfect time. If you're a black business, right now is the perfect time to, you know, really be putting yourself in a position to be the next big thing that black people shop with, right? Because as we're seeing, in which we've known a lot of these corporations were racist now, but we're noticing, like they said, Wendy's put a lot of money on Trump's campaign. You know what I'm saying? Even though that has been happening, we're just now realizing this or whatever. But now people are like, oh, okay, well, we don't want to, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to shop at Wendy's no more. Well, there's an opportunity for there to become a black Wendy's.
Yeah, you're right. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So in these times, we have a ton of opportunities. Another thing that a lot of white people are talking about, well, I'm not just gonna say white people, but a lot of white prominent business leaders are talking about. They're talking about, in this day and age, right now, 2020, is the beginning of the biggest transfer of wealth that this country has ever seen. Now, who is that wealth going to be transferred to? Who knows? You got to be putting yourself in a position to be able to receive that wealth. And as black people, that's what we need to be working on. Because I'm gonna tell you something. There are a lot of old white people who've had businesses since the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s that are very profitable businesses, but they're retiring and their kids don't want to take over the business, so they don't have nobody to pass it down to, so they got to sell it, and they'd be willing to sell it at a discount because they want to get rid of it. There's opportunities in that. That's another transfer of wealth, and there are ways that you can buy businesses without putting a whole lot of money into it too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a whole nother topic. It's like owner finance and real estate. But
I feel that. Going back some, I'm gonna ask, what are some areas of focus that you think we need to be asking for? Like, yeah, let's keep on rioting and looting or protesting, but let's start putting an aim toward what it is that we trying to accomplish and what message we trying to send out to the people. What is it do you think we could do better, or a plan of attack that we can do as black people to implement and come together? We need to
first we need to push even harder for reparations. Now is an opportunity to push even harder for reparations now, because we've got, for one, we've got global, I'm not even gonna say global proof, but we've got so much evidence now that, because America has this global image that it's the model for a multiracial, harmonious society, when it's really not that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's what we, as America, that's what we promote.
Yes, that's how we try and present ourselves to the world. But now the world is starting to see, just like we've seen, just like we've seen for the past 400 years, this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not that if you black. You feel me? It's not that if you black. And this is how you treat a certain group of people. So the world is starting to see that. So America is starting to lose credibility in the world's eyes. And with that, we need to be pushing for reparations, because other countries will be more likely to say, okay, well, look, y'all do need to give those folks some reparations, because y'all been fucking them up for 400 years. You know what I'm saying? And y'all is like, y'all said y'all stopped, but y'all never really did, as we see now.
Because slavery is now commercialized.
Yes.
Instead of blatantly out front in your face.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because I'm a big advocate in the violence is stupid. The senseless violence, like, I don't get what Foot Locker has to do with George Floyd's death. I don't get what Rainbow has to do with the death of Ahmaud Arbery. I don't understand why we have to rob and loot our own neighborhoods for the benefit to send out a message. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel the same things can be accomplished in different ways. Again, like I said, like, I feel what we should do as blacks is, I think everybody should protest police. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to come up with a very clear cut, precise plan of how it is how do y'all plan to deal with what's going on with the community. Y'all need to be completely transparent with that plan and also with that process.
Or if we do something like, we just send an even bigger message and just take the opportunity to police ourselves, right? Because what you don't know, what a lot of people don't know, is that if you go into certain communities, like where it's a thing where it's like, with our community, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying, you don't call the police.
Right.
You feel me? Well, it's like that in other communities, where it's like, if you call the police, they looking at you funny. You know what I'm saying? In Jewish communities, you call the police, because the thing about it is, when you call the police, you're possibly inviting an outsider into your neighborhood.
Right.
Who doesn't have the best interest for the people in that community. You know what I'm saying? In which we have that, where we have a lot of outsiders who come into our communities. And here's what I want to say now. Going back to the opportunity thing with the looting. Now, I understand that there's a lot of niggas in St. Louis who was out there looting, who did not give one fuck about George Floyd. Excuse my French. I do understand that. But what y'all don't know that y'all did is that y'all opened up opportunities for other black businesses, and you have to look at it as an opportunity, right? Because I see a lot of people on Facebook talking about oh man, well, y'all messing up these businesses and everything. They ain't gonna come back to us. They ain't gonna come back to, so what? You do something about that. Here's what you do. You open up your own Foot Locker. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, we got a lot of creative people out here in St. Louis. I see a lot of folks on Instagram and Facebook advertising and marketing clothes and shoes and all of these, designs and creations that they got that they can sell. When of y'all put y'all store in that plaza where Foot Locker was, and Foot Locker don't come back? Matter of fact, don't even try and wait to see if Foot Locker come back. See if you can get that motherfucker now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's opportunity in some of these things. So that's why I say, I don't care about the looting so much. I care more about the senseless violence. What happened to David Dorn was highly uncalled for.
Because, like, my thing is, I hear you cold-heartedly, but it's for St. Louis. 4 black officers were shot. 4 black officers. You're riding and looting in black prominent, let's say this, you're riding and looting in prominent black neighborhoods. 40% of riders are white. Not to say that they don't live where we live, but St. Louis has a different type of fight in racism. Right? St. Louis deals with redlining racism. Our fight isn't with police brutality.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a whole lot deeper than police brutality.
You know, but ours is more so for St. Louis. It's real estate. We can't go to Ladue and feel safe and secure as if.
And feel comfortable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We can't go to Ladue and go out there and feel comfortable like ain't nobody watching us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, bro, a lot of black people who live in the city ain't never been out to Ladue. A lot of black people ain't never heard of Ladue. You know what I'm saying? You ask some people, you ever been out to Ladue before? Ladue, what's that? I ain't never been out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, with us, like the racism in St. Louis, they mentally fucked us. You know what I'm saying? They mentally fucked us. One thing, they had to because they knew we was kind of crazy. And 2, because they knew that
You have to do that? You have to do that?
I mean,
Just playing devil's advocate.
you do actually, you do, because, and I'm talking from a historical standpoint, because it stands from a historical thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to, if you have a group of slaves who are very rowdy, right? Violence alone isn't going to just, you know what I'm saying, isn't going to just keep them suppressed. You got to, in slavery, what they did was they added a lot of mental fucks into the violence. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole horse, tar, and feather thing with the black man. That's a mental fuck. Yeah, that was for mental purposes, because they could have just killed him. Yeah. They could have just shot him or stabbed him and just killed him.
And been done with it. Yeah, that's keeping the body and taking the mind.
Yes, that's sending a message saying that, hey, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna just kill you. We gonna kill you in front of your family, and we gonna dehumanize you to the point to where your family is like, damn, what do we do?
And see, I feel in St. Louis they do that to like our black leaders, our community organizers, Darren Seals,
yep.
Where now his alleged murder was pinned on gang violence, pinned on the homicide case of unsolved murders, and on top of that, the police just left his body, left the car, the body. People were able to go pick up bullets. You know what I'm saying? And keep as a keepsake and stuff like that. So it's like the message for young black men to even wanting to, because going back to that fear part is what I'm getting at. The message of us even trying to stand up and fight back is so scary, because we don't know how to fight back, or where to even begin on how to get into the fight. You see what I'm saying? I know where the party at, but I don't know where the location is, and then 2, I don't know what to wear when I get to the party. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if this gonna turn out into a race war. If we can walk out. It
already is a race war.
But look, we don't know if we can walk out it peaceful, because some people still don't even have guns.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know whether to militarize ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We don't know whether to, and when I say that, I mean as a group, collectively. You know what I'm saying? We still haven't focused on any trades in this time. When I say trades, I mean like hunting, fishing, electrical work, plumbing, like things that have really put black people up there. You know what I'm saying? Or I ain't gonna say put us up there, but just more so give us practical skills. You know what I'm saying? So right now, if we do build, or when we build our own society or our own community, now we have these key components to make it self-sufficient. You see what I'm saying? And during all this stuff, all these rioting and protesting, I feel this is the time where we need to come up, I call it a social contract, I'm gonna coin that, come up with a social contract to really see, hey, police, you do this, the community, we gonna act like this. This is right now, a lot of people talk about that code of conduct. Tariq Nasheed, hey man, it's that time. Cam actually broke it out to me and said, well, look at it like this. A lot of people are getting involved for the purpose of not necessarily doing something for black people, but just getting involved. You know what I'm saying? So, like, with that being said, symbolic activism is you just speaking up for black people, for speaking up on George, speaking up on Ahmaud Arbery, speaking up on Brittany, on the tip of, because you now see that it's wrong. When in all reality, this has been going on for so long. So it's now, what is your whole position in the fight? Because it's not like that black people have not been saying this for years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now, my question to all non-black and white protesters, why now are you just, what made the veil come off your eyes? Because you already could attest, you knew that racism was alive, you knew that racism was a thing, you knew that racism was affecting a certain group of people. So what now got you on the tip of, now I'm going to fight? Because even my argument to a Christian, it was black Christians when they were hanging and lynching during, let's just say, 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Where in the Bible does that say white Christians appease your enemy who is doing wrong to your brother, who is also a Christian? Despite the color of his skin, it's his faith and religion that binds all of us together. How come you didn't help me when I was getting lynched?
Because they were the ones lynching you.
You see what I'm saying? The KKK is a Christian-based organization. How come there is no one coming at them? How come no one is protesting in Ahmaud Arbery's town? How come no one is protesting, or I don't even say protest. When I say protest, I mean peacefully assemble and shut shit down peacefully. If you want, instead of burning down precincts and making police more agitated and provoking them, because if we want to play the argument of not all police are bad, okay, well, let's not provoke a good person to want to protect themselves.
Well, I would say this.
Go ahead.
I would say this has actually made police think twice about fucking with black people. I would say this incident, yes. I would say this incident has made police think twice about fucking around with black people. Because here's the thing. You never see police doing these types of things to white people in mass numbers. You know why? Because let white people even think that a police officer wrongfully arrested a white person. You know what I'm saying?
They coming for that job.
No, they coming to that police officer's house.
Yeah.
They gonna be at his house that night.
Yeah. Even then, let me tell you this. Somebody brought to my attention. George Zimmerman, for all the black riders, George Zimmerman is still out there. And nobody is going to his house. Nobody is even prompting that he needs to receive any form of punishment.
Yes, and that's another thing. With that being said, I'm glad that you said that, because here's where the real thing comes in, right?
Okay.
And this is the real shit that people don't really want to talk about. People talk about police reform and everything like that and all that. Okay, well, we see that the police will get off, or the justice system will even allow regular citizens to get off who harm us.
Yeah.
As we see with George Zimmerman.
Yes.
Right? So in these situations,
not only just police, right?
Yeah. So in these situations, we need to have a mechanism in our society where we're able to bring our own justice. Meaning that we have to be, you know what I'm saying? Niggas can't be afraid to get at folks, right, when need be.
Real talk, yes.
Whether and it ain't just gotta be black people, because we always, you know, have that energy focused towards us. And I'm not trying to say it's black on black crime and all that shit like that. I'm not one of them type of niggas. But in this time, day and age, you know what I'm saying? All this beef shit that we had, you know what I'm saying? All that shit should stop.
Amongst each other.
Amongst each other, yes. Yeah. All of that shit should stop.
All that can, but you know, all that stemmed from the Willie Lynch letter. He outlines and tell us the differences that he's going to pull before us and use against us so that we can continue fighting amongst ourselves.
Exactly. But now that we know that, now that we know that that's a mental thing that's been implanted into us throughout the generations. Now we have to be intentional about reversing that mentality. So that means we have to step out of comfort zones. We have to do things. We have to challenge some of our traditional belief systems. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like we have to challenge the belief that we can't work with other black people because black people don't do good business.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true about some. That's also true about people in other communities and races as well. Everybody has people in their society who just, you know, can't be trusted with doing business. You just can't trust them to do good business. You know, everybody has that. Okay, cool. Find the people in our community who you can trust to do good business and work with them. You know what I'm saying? Because not all black businesses have bad business. Yes, there are a lot of black businesses, a lot of black restaurants in St. Louis especially, and I didn't know it was that many. Some folks put a list out on Facebook. I didn't know it was that many. I knew of quite a few. Now, it was a couple they didn't have on that list that they should have put on there. But what you talking about? It was a list. I gotta go find it on Facebook. But it was a list
of I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of black-owned restaurants in St. Louis that we can go support and eat from. And you know what? I would even say this: don't even just, you know, eat there. You know, give to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Give to them.
I say even become a part of their community. Like okay, not necessarily make it a routine place to eat, but hey, why not?
Like, do things like, okay, figure out how you can help out a black business. I don't know, volunteer to do something today. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if you don't have the time, just donate some money to them.
Yeah, most definitely.
Donate money to them. You know, something like that. You know, but we need to be supporting our black business owners heavy. And we need to be figuring out, as black entrepreneurs,
Go ahead.
You know, how we can expand into industries outside of just cultural things, like restaurants and bars and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm tired of liquor stores. I'm tired of Uncle Joe's Barbecue Shack.
Yeah, and like hair places and salons and barbershops and everything. Not to knock them, but we got a lot. Yeah, we need to expand into other industries. We need to, and I'm not even just saying computer science or, you know, real estate or something like that. You know what I'm saying? What about manufacturing? Just basic manufacturing. You know, do we manufacture socks or something like that? Do we have somebody who manufactures underwear or T-shirts, things like that?
Right.
Do we have somebody who manufactures steel, metal, or some things like that? These are major industries that we need to be getting into. That'll always be around. You always gonna need some drawers.
Always.
You always gonna need some socks. Why not buy it from a black person?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Who made it?
Yes. Who made the socks? Support that person.
Yeah.
So that's how we begin to build what we had in Tulsa on a national level.
Because right now I feel we have the national attention. I feel right now is the perfect time, because this is the only time every state has been like, okay, at least on the same accord of what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like going back to that symbolic activism, at least if all y'all line at least like why you getting involved, well, at least you are getting involved and know the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's the argument. At least now you know, hey, black people have been getting mistreated. Because the biggest argument I feel that we was running into was white people could be like, oh, well, that's not happening. Not really. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, yes, it is. And now here it is, like, what's her name? The woman who was caught on camera with abusing her dog. What's her name? Cooper.
Yeah.
Amy Cooper.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just more so on the tip. Now you got white girls been lying on black men for their own benefit. That's
Century.
yeah, but even in like the black community, we know that.
Yeah, we know that.
Like that's not even like, we know white girls will tell a black dude, hey, I will only sleep with you if I'm drunk. Like, and say that like just like off rip.
And growing up in the urban community, we all got a grandma or an auntie or somebody that said, you better not come home with no white girl.
Yeah, and it's, we fought and laugh at it, but it's within our culture and community. We already know how to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just more so, not to say like all white girls or white people interracial relationships are bad or you can't find love in them.
But it's like a forbidden fruit thing.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
like
saying?
you shouldn't be doing that to the degree of how you doing, like individualism to that. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, yet again, yes, please find love. Please find love. But on the tip of, you gotta understand what they did to black people and what they are doing to the black cause. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, so going back to them, why aren't we rioting in the places where we were rightfully shown injustice? Ahmaud Arbery was running for his life, literally. On the tip of, I go for morning jogs. Right. That story hit me so hard to where I go for morning jogs so often that the neighborhood that I would run through, I don't even like pay attention to.
Right.
But granted, I do run in predominantly black neighborhoods because I'm in a black neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was in Kansas, when I'm going for school, everybody was trying to figure out why is he running in that neighborhood? This and that. It doesn't matter. I'm going for a run. Like, oh, is it bad? Like, that's the argument that I was just listening to. Is like, do you know a woman named Candace Owens?
Yep, I know who that is. That wench.
She's so hell-bent to say that Ahmaud Arbery was doing something wrong, and even pointed out that she's going out of her way to say that he was a criminal and twist the narrative. And it's like, she's a black woman.
And here's another thing, right?
Right.
Now, I'm not an advocate of domestic violence or nothing like that.
Not at all.
If you a black woman and you talking like that, you need to get smacked up. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You need to get smacked up.
Yeah, because, man, it don't make any sense on the tip of, why would you go out of your way to decriminalize your own community? On the tip of, out of everything that's going on, even then she said that George Floyd was like, she's finding out that he got a criminal background. So what? That there is no extensive research to show a person who should die like that.
And the thing with that is she's got a white husband.
A rich white husband that got his money from slavery.
and she's trying to, keep him happy. Like, here's another issue that's going on right now.
Yes.
If you do some research on Twitter and you look at some of these black bed wenches, they're talking about they're uncomfortable with these times because they don't know how to talk to their white husbands about the George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor situations.
They don't know how to embrace their own culture bring their culture community to their husband.
And you know what's so funny?
Spouse.
You know what's so funny is that they're so caught up in that they don't know what to do. And the fact is that their husband does not give a fuck about George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, or Breonna Taylor. And it burns them inside because it's like, I want to be able to talk to you about it because you're my husband, but the fact that you don't give a damn about it is like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, your fault for putting yourself in that situation.
It is.
And if he beats you, your fault. I know that might be fucked up to say, but if he beat your ass, it's your fault too. Because you knew. You know damn well not to be in no intimate relationship with somebody who does not give a damn, who has contempt about your survival issues in your community. About the survival issues in your community.
Yeah. You shouldn't go with anybody who, oh, that's cool, or who just say they get it. If that symbolic, I like when Cam brought to mind to that symbolic activism, that really stuck with me. Shout out Cam Heights, man, on the tip of why are you even fighting? Why for her personally? What is your stick in this? I've always had a problem for black leaders on the tip of, I'm calling all y'all out. Where are you now? Where's the censorship and leadership to get these black people, the rioters, the protesters, all on one accord? Where are the community organizers that are not afraid and stand up against the Willie Lynch letter? You know what I'm saying? That stand up against the outwardly racist in St. Louis. Don't get me wrong, stand up proud in Minneapolis, stand up proud in Los Angeles, stand up proud in Chicago. But for a Chicago native, for St. Louis natives, for people with St. Louis pride, what is our game? Who is our leader to tell us, hey man, look, that violence, we don't want none of that. We still want the streets safe, but it's a better way. You see what I'm saying? As young people, we are so divided by who we listen to. Our influences divide us. We can't even get that part right. Like, hey, your influencers may not even be alive, so why are you holding so hard on Marcus Garvey tip to where you cannot progress with the non-black or African American? You see what I'm saying? Why have you not learned the lesson that we all have to come together? But even then, for black people, we've seen that every time we've opened up and tried to let somebody in with us, they've turned and not had our best interests at hand. Okay, that is symbolic symbolic activism, where a white man or a white woman can speak up for us, but in the same strength, you really don't care about what's going on. You just want to speak.
And here's the thing about,
which is what they always like to do.
And here's the thing, like, as black people, we have to raise our standards, because white people protesting and standing out there with us and everything like that, they should not get any cookie points for that.
Yes.
They should not get any cookie points for that. And here's why. Because you are white and you're in a position to do something about it on a bigger level than I can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have the right to get things done in your own community to make change, and they know how to do that because when they want to make change, they do. White people out here protesting and just supposedly standing in solidarity with you and everything, putting up a fist and all that. That's not doing anything for you. And I don't really get too hyped up about that shit because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, it is symbolic. It's symbolic activism. Like white boy, what you out here holding the fist for out here? But you know what I'm saying? But yet, your daddy is the police chief. And you know what I'm saying? In one of the wealthiest municipalities in St. Louis County.
Yeah.
But you out here standing holding the fist with me if you don't get the fuck on and get talk to your daddy.
And still you finna be out here with a spray can in your hand.
Yeah, and then marking Black Lives Matter on shit. You know what I'm saying? In our neighborhood.
On my neighborhood.
And you don't get mad if we fucked you up for that.
And then be like, and the argument to them be like, well, how come y'all can do it and we can't? Because like you said, there are things that y'all have not been through.
Yes.
You will never understand it because of the simple fact it has not been done to you.
You are in a completely different class in this country than we are. As I've stated before, black people in America are an underclass, right? See, white people want you to think that they're on your level, right? It's not and this is deception. This is warfare. All this white people out there protesting everything, that's warfare and that's deception. It's deception.
All day long.
They want you to think that in some way they're on your level and they can relate to you because, and you hear a lot of white people say this.
But it's not all white people though. It's not
all white people. Not all white people.
But all white people do not get brownie points for showing up to a protest for a black man that has been wrongfully killed when it has already been going on. Do not come to me with any new information. Rodney King been around. Where was all this solidarity then? And also, that's on film.
Yeah.
No one in America helped. White America helped. I'm not going to even say that because I don't know the research or the history behind it, but just ignorantly and out loudly, I'm saying no one of the white community helped him on the tip of how they quote unquote are helping us now. And that's where the term again, symbolic activism. You really don't care what's going on, but as white people love to do is, as you like to see, the white people love to say, hey, this offended the other person and take that stance for that person. Hey, don't call my friend a nigga when that's not who they are. And it's like, well, why are you even putting a stick in it when your people are the one who made the word? You get mad at two black people calling each other nigga when you're the one who don't understand the culture or doesn't understand that it was your people that introduced that to my people. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm starting to see why, you can't say nigga no more. You can't say the N-word. You can't, that's not you. Because of just the history now. Now is, why are you really trying to help me? Right now I feel like symbolic activism is celebrity bystanding. It's about, remember we did an episode on bystanding.
Yep.
So many people seen, how many videos do we have of George Floyd dying? None of you wanted to rush the police?
Yeah, and it's like another thing. We're looting and rioting now, but
save me before you loot and riot.
Yeah, save me. Help me.
Yeah,
first.
they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, like, help me. You know what I'm saying, nigga?
I appreciate you all. I would appreciate everything y'all doing right now more if my daughter can come home to me. If my mom could cook me breakfast again and I would have strength in my stomach to fight another day, but I don't, because all of you watched me die.
Yes, you sat there, you stood there and videotaped and watched him die.
Period.
You all like, and what pisses me off about,
you're worse than the police because you allowed it to happen. Yep. Period. Everybody finds so much comfort in the recording aspect, man, don't record me. Don't even record the situation. I feel too many people have now become like enslaved and wanting to run and hide. Like the phone is now the gun. It's not the gun. It's still a phone. It's just a different form of technology.
Recording makes people feel like they did something. This is what recording does.
Yes.
Recording just satisfies your ego to say, well, even though he died, I still tried to do something by pulling out my phone and recording. And now I have the video that shows proof that, hey, what you did was wrong. So hopefully this video will help him
indict you somewhere.
Yeah, or bring justice. But no, that's not how that shit works. Don't record a video. Stop recording a video.
And that does more harm to, I feel that does more harm to the narrative, more harm to the community, more harm to the message.
And then you got people saying like, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm seeing a random guy get roughed up by the police. I'm not finna stop my data, you know, to help. Okay, well, shit, what if that happened to you? I bet somebody walking by you, watching you get your ass beat by the police, you gonna be sitting there thinking like, damn, I wish this motherfucker would help me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, and here's another thing. Because we're like, okay, well, what if I assault the police and I go to jail? Who the fuck says you gonna go to jail? Who says that? You know what I'm saying?
Even then, if you, like Young Pharaoh say, shout out Young Pharaoh, if you're scared, go to church. This ain't the time to be scared no more. They've already showed you what they are willing and going to do to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's no, even Fred Hampton, 22, leader of Black Panthers, in Chicago, they ran into his house and killed him. Period.
That's
nobody was indicted.
No cost of freedom.
But and nobody was indicted. Nobody. Mm-hmm. Even to our parents, even to our ancestors right now, like, where was your fight? We dealing with a fight that's far greater than us. That I ain't gonna say we shouldn't be dealing with, but we should have better tactics that we do
should
now.
have a better footing on. We should have a better position on.
Yes. Rather than the young minds trying to figure out what's going on. We cannot try to figure out, we cannot come up with solutions if we're still having to worry about the fight. You see what I'm saying? I can't come up with how to save the world no more because I gotta fight this dude now. I don't got time.
And it's like, you know what's funny? Because I'm thinking about the whole, you seen the Jimmy Neutron movie, right?
Yeah.
So you remember when they abducted all their parents and took them to the chicken planet or whatever, and they had to go save their parents?
Yeah.
Well, we're in a similar situation right now.
Okay.
When it comes to white supremacy. The brains of our parents and the spirits and the souls of our parents and our elders today have been abducted. Right. And we either can't get them back or, you know what I'm saying?
We gotta build a spaceship to go get them.
Yeah. It's one of the two.
But with that being said, who are Jimmy Neutron for the black community? Who's gonna be the one to tell us, hey, we need to go up there and go get it?
The code.
Because I feel like that's where I come into play. Artemis Caldwell. That's where my personal being come into play. I'll be Jimmy Neutron and tell everybody, hey, this is what we gotta do. I'll come up with the mechanism that's gonna catapult us forward to be better people. You know what I'm saying? Because my stick is with everybody that's around, our leaders that's around. Where are our scholars now? Where are our Reverend Al Sharptons? Where are our Angela Davises? Where are our freedom fighters? You know what I'm saying? Where are these people that spoke on justice for us, that gave us the fuel to fight?
And it's not just one person. It needs to be all of us.
And that's what I'm saying.
We all need to be taking a part in, one, speaking on the injustice, and then taking practices to help dismantle the system.
But if you don't know how to dismantle the system, nor how the system works, your foot soldierness does not matter. if you, and I mean, and I'm putting in context for you when I say that, being a foot soldier is going to the protest, being a part of that, engage in, you know what I'm saying, your local politics or whatever's going on, what have you. If you don't know who your community organizer is or what ward you serve in St. Louis, you don't even know, you just out there going.
Yeah, so like, and there's another thing with protesting. Like, with protesting is simply to bring attention to a certain situation. But we need to have things going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Grassroots things going on behind the scenes. Where we're doing things economically and where we're doing things politically that's backed by our economics. You know what I'm saying? We need to be focusing on that right now in this time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can protest, but at some point the protesting has to stop and we have to do something else. And we have to take it to the next step. The next step is, okay, we can get together and protest. We can get together and club, we can get together and party, we can get together and do all these things. When are we going to get together and really strategize and pan out how we're going to get an economic foundation right here in St. Louis and nationally as well for our people? That's what we need to be focusing on.
I feel for every individual, you need to find out how racism is affecting your city personally.
Because it's the same, but it ain't the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every city has its differences. You know what I'm saying? As if, like, I'm sure the racism here in St. Louis is a whole lot different than the racism in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Or North Carolina or something like that.
Solely because you're dealing with a different territory and a different type of mindset. That's it. I can't use the same mechanisms that I would on people below than I would on people up top. You know what I'm saying? The people below I need to keep y'all from flying. So every time y'all be able to get wings, I need to clip your wings. Now, everybody up top, your thing is you want to walk on the ground. So I need to take the ground from under you. I need to make walking prohibited.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing. I'm oppressing both of y'all, but different stems of racism or different ways on how I'm oppressing y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's like, man, I really don't understand why. Okay, what's our next move? And that's my message and my call to all the black leaders, all like the Stokely Carmichaels, all the people who like came out to be militant in the 60s, in the 70s, in the times where this stuff like this is already happening, have already been happening. Where are y'all now? We need that same guidance and wisdom and leadership, because you can't leave it in the hands of 20-year-olds. We don't know what to do. All we know is the foot soldierness. I'm sorry.
That also may mean it's just time for somebody to step up to the plate, because you got to remember Fred Hampton was 21.
Yeah.
Fred Hampton was 21 when he was killed.
I think he was 22, 23.
He was young. He was in his 20s.
Yeah. I know he wasn't older. He wasn't older than 25. He wasn't older than us.
Yeah, he wasn't older than us.
Crazy.
Right.
And to have that much influence at a young age is crazy. Crazy. Now imagine the minds of a 20-year-old black man today. To think like Fred Hampton, not to say that's one out of a million, but on the tip of how many young people strive to be like him in the area of Chicago. Now what happens is when you take that image and you wipe it away out of history, now people don't know how to fight or even who they fighting, like what spirit they got inside of them. Now, boom, of course you're going to be just going out here being stupid because you don't know how to control your power. If you was already the son or descendant of Fred Hampton, not just Fred Hampton, but any of these freedom fighters that I'm not mentioning, that spirit inside of you, once all of us have that inside of us. You know what I'm saying? We are a warrior people. So, with that being said, where are our elder people, our elder council, to help us guide and groom the next leader that we need? Because also, again, we know, like the same argument I can use to white people for being so ignorant to black oppression and now joining the fight. I can flip that and say, well, black people, y'all have, as the older generation, y'all know that we need a council to nurture this one leader. You know what I'm saying?
Not even. I don't believe that it should just be one leader. I believe that
for multiple though. Martin Luther King had the church backing. I don't know their names because again I'm killing it right now. But Malcolm X, he even had the Nation of Islam. A group. Give me we know as black people, if I'm going to do something, I need someone or something, an entity to stand behind me. I need a support system. That goes all stem just back to just being family. You need a support system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you get that, then now you can start eliminating that fear, because now you already know it's not just me out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm standing with other people.
And then that mindset elevates to I'm standing up for a cause.
Right.
Boom. Yeah, man. I feel our next plan needs to be organized with for black people. If you're watching this, man, your next plan, quit riding and messing up and just mindless protesting. The next thing we need to do is reach out to your community organizer and see if there is not one. Like Gabe was saying, this is the perfect time, perfect opportunity for you to step up and be a community organizer for your own community, in the spirit of Durian Seals, in the spirit of Marcus Garvey, in the spirit of Fred Hampton, in the spirit of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, in the spirit of all these people that stood before you and wanted that fight. You know what I'm saying? And said, I'm not, you ain't just finna kill me, and I'm gonna go with it.
And not even just in activism, you know what I'm saying? Stepping up in activism, becoming a leader in that, but in different areas of life, you know what I'm saying? And step up to the plate in business. Be that person in the community who can step up and spark, you know, some type of economic foundation in your community, in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Create a business or go support a business. You know, step up and do something that's going to empower a black person. Step up and do something.
Go ahead.
I
just want to get this off my chest before we end this off. We as a black community, I'm saying this from my heart to everybody else. Hey, we as a black community do not need a leader who is a musician. Period. We don't need no
musician or artist
to speak up for us no more. I don't, Colin Kaepernick, I agree and applaud everything you're doing, but your first love was football. Jay-Z, I agree and love everything you're doing for the community, this and the third. Even LeBron James, I agree and love. But your first job, your passion was not to ignite and pull off racism like our forefathers was. Everybody I just named in light of activism. Angela Davis did this because she saw an injustice. Malcolm X saw an injustice. You see what I'm saying? The musician don't see a opportunity to make music. They want to make music, not to like be on their own bubble, but a musician wants to, their passion, I only want to make music. Kanye West cannot be president, and we also have video of him going off on Sway in the morning. That won't work in your presidency because we can't take you serious. I cannot take you serious. As an American citizen, I can't take you serious.
And here's why because music doesn't play into the
I feel music does more harm to our community than good. But as of right now, because it is white people, or the people who run music, the the producers and stuff like that. The white Jewish men are controlling narratives of, not even narratives, they are controlling and funding music that only talks about, that glorifies what we don't need: cars, clothes, drugs, and money, and degrade our women. Period. Like, don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with twerking, but it's a time and place for that. Let a grown person be grown and let the kids have what the kids have. Simple. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, with that, there's nothing wrong if you strive to be a musician and want to also be an activist. But on the same tip, I'm always going to look at you funny because you want to make an album. You want to save people by singing and dancing. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's a time and a place for that. You know what I'm saying? Your contribution and you can help me in the celebration and protesting part.
Or if you are going to do that, you have to do more than just music. Like, Nipsey got a lot of respect because he was more than just music.
Yeah, but and again, what? Not to disrespect, not even to disrespect his image or what he even stood for. Because again, that's great. We need that. We need that cold-heartedly. Again, though, what are we teaching our youth? In order for you to make it, you gotta sell drugs or do something very disgraceful. And in the long run, you're gonna learn from your mistakes and come to this quote-unquote enlightenment. But you gotta go to jail, or sell drugs, you gotta do something that's going to project you forward in a way that a positive manner couldn't. Make sense? That's what my argument is for all artists. You're promoting, hey, when I was down and out, this what happened. But the kid doesn't hear the positive part. They only hearing the, oh, I'm gonna smoke, I lost a friend, now I'm about to retaliate. They only hear the retaliating music. And it's, hey man, quit singing and dancing if your meaning is not being. If all you want to do is entertain, this is not no time for entertainment right now. So I don't need you. Go over there. We need lawyers, we need somebody who's going, contract writers. We need the people that y'all on y'all songs that are on y'all songs that y'all calling lame. We need those lame people. We need those straight A kids. How come rappers don't promote their academics? How come they don't?
Right.
Why is my kid listening and wanting to follow you and inspiring? And how is he wanting to inspire the conversation of change if his role model's not even doing it? His role models don't even care fully about what's going on because all they want to do is make a song. I wonder that all they worry about is making a new song.
Right. Yeah, man.
I don't want no more. Don't speak for me if you're, an artist, a musician. Yeah, not to even discredit what you got going, but just I'm not with it because I don't know I know your stick behind it, but I know for a fact if the whole world was good, you would still be making music. The only reason why Martin Luther King, Malcolm X was even their whole stance was because the world isn't right. Period. There wasn't no other contributing factors of, oh, I wonder what he's doing in his off time. In his off time, he's dealing with his family. In his off time, he's still fighting a fight. In their off time, where they at? Morocco? You chilling. You getting 10 chains? What does that show to me? It shows that you got a life that I can't get. So yeah, you heard you. I guess you want to. Well, I guess you like me, but you're not me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It was a good episode.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It was a lot.
Like to get off your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody everybody watching this
Yeah,
show.
man. All supporters, shout them all out.
Yeah, especially if you watch this for the whole hour and 14 minutes. Shout out to y'all. You know,
All love, man.
all love.
Everybody even the day one people who always supported when we did the episode in the house. When Gabe had the hurt.
Right.
Everybody, thank you for doing so. You know what I'm saying? This is a fight this is the platform where we have deep intellectual conversation that push the narrative of what make your right and what makes a wrong a wrong. You know what I'm saying? So Who is an organization dedicated to understanding identity and unity within the community. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for.